1300 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum, this is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Ali Ahmed. First, the headlines. The meeting of Federal Cabinet with Prime Minister in the chair is discussing overall political and economic situation in the country. Supreme Court has suspended the Peshawar High Court order for release of 196 alleged terrorists. European Union leaders have arrived on a deal of €750 billion stimulus recovery package to mitigate the impact of COVID-19. In occupied Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has urged the United Nations to play its role for settlement of Kashmir dispute as per the resolutions of the Security Council. And now the news in detail. A meeting of the Federal Cabinet is in progress in Islamabad with Prime Minister Imran Khan in the chair. It is discussing overall political and the economic situation of the country. The Supreme Court has suspended the Peshawar High Court order for release of 196 alleged terrorists. A three-member bench headed by Justice Mushir Alam heard the case in Islamabad today. The court has sought the record of the cases of these 196 alleged terrorists from the federal government. It also issued notices to all parties, including the federal government. Military courts had sentenced these 196 people for their involvement in terrorism, while the Peshawar High Court had ordered for their release. 1,013 new coronavirus cases were reported in the country during the last 24 hours, taking the total tally to 266,096. The death toll from the virus stands at 5,639, with 40 deaths reported during the last 24 hours. 208,030 patients have so far recovered from the disease. The number of coronavirus cases across the world has crossed 14.8 million, while the pandemic has claimed more than 613,000 lives so far. The United States is the worst hit, where cases have mounted over 3.9 million and the death toll reached over 143,000. More than 8.9 million patients have recovered from the disease across the world. Special Assistant to the Prime Minister Usman Dar has appreciated the Tiger Force volunteers' active participation in the fight against COVID-19. Talking to a private news channel, he said over 1 million youth have become part of the Tiger Force on the call of the Prime Minister Imran Khan, and volunteer force is actively playing its pivotal role in the implementation of the SOPs regarding coronavirus. European Union leaders have reached a deal on a massive stimulus package for their coronavirus-hit economies after a fractious summit that lasted almost 5 days. French President Emmanuel Macron said the deal is truly a historic one and the recovery plan could meet the challenge of the coronavirus pandemic. Officials said €750 billion recovery fund is critical to dispel doubts about the bloc's very future. In occupied Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has urged the United Nations to play its role for the settlement of the Kashmir dispute as per the relevant resolutions of the Security Council. All Parties Hurriyat Conference spokesman in a statement issued in Srinagar said that the United Nations is legally bound to hold a free and fair plebiscite in Jammu and Kashmir to ascertain the Kashmiris' future destiny. He also urged the United Nations and the international community to prevail upon the Modi-led fascist government in India to stop the atrocities in occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference, while expressing serious concern over the arrival of thousands of outsiders in Kashmir Valley, said the move poses a serious threat to the future of the Kashmiri people. In Afghanistan, 20 Taliban have been killed during a series of airstrikes in Kandahar province. According to Afghan Special Forces, airstrikes carried out on Taliban positions in Makin and Baq villages of Daman district. The United Nations has appealed all the stakeholders in Libya to agree to a ceasefire. In a statement, a United Nations spokesman, Stephanie Dujarric, said there is no military solution to the current crisis in Libya and there must be an immediate ceasefire. Meanwhile, United Nations and Libyan officials also discussed resuming political dialogue as per Berlin Conference conclusions. In Mali, opposition has stopped demonstrations to allow people to celebrate the upcoming Eid festival. According to the media reports, opposition leader Nohun Ser said opposition has decided to observe a truce on the subject of civil disobedience. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gv.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.